Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to the 20th lecture on report writing skills. Dear students, if you remember in the last few lectures we are discussing the MLA, we are rather sharing the MLA referencing style with each other. And dear students, in the last lecture we discussed in details the few situations how to create the detailed reference for the work cited a page through MLA referencing style. Kindly have a look on the screen when you are having a book with no author. Then dear students, in the last lecture we discussed how to create the detailed reference for the work cited page through MLA referencing style for a translated book. Kindly have a look on the screen. This was the example that we shared with each other. After that, dear students, we discussed how to create the detailed reference for the work cited page through MLA referencing style for a republished book, and in that we discussed different situations of republished forms of the books. Have a look on the screen. And this was the example, dear students, on the screen that we shared with each other. After that, dear students, we discussed the situation in which there was a book that was republished, but it was the new edition as well. Now, how to create the detailed reference of such a republished book, which is a new edition of the original book as well, for the works cited page through MLA referencing style, we discussed it with the help of an example. A subsequent edition in front of you on the screen. Kindly have a look. Then the work prepared by an editor, how to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style in such a situation. An example in front of you. After that, dear students, we discussed, kindly have a look on the screen again, how to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style for an anthology or collection of essays. Then we shared an example with it, two examples with each other as well, that you can see on the screen. Then dear students, after that we discussed how to create the detailed reference for a single work that you picked out of the entire anthology or the collection of essays through MLA referencing style. In front of you on the screen is the example, dear students. Then some more examples in front of you on the screen. Then we also discussed, dear students, the situation in of the cross-referencing. When you are referring to different pieces of work, different works from the same anthology, from the same collection of essays, then can we save some space through adopting the strategy of cross-referencing? And the answer was yes, and we discussed how to do it with the help of an example. Have a look on the screen. Here. Then dear students, we discussed in detail how to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style for a poem or a short story. Shared with each other some examples as well in front of you on the screen. Kindly have a look. Okay dear students, today we are going to start with some new situations in which we will be discussing with each other in those situations how to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through the MLA referencing style. In front of you on the screen is a situation in which you are creating the reference for something that you have taken out of some encyclopedia, some dictionary, or a book which is already a reference book. So what's the difference that you will find over here when you will be creating the reference in such a situation through the MLA referencing style? Kindly have a look on the screen, dear students. Dear students, whenever you will be creating a detailed reference in such a situation, when you are creating the reference for some piece of information that you have taken out of some encyclopedia or dictionary, then you need not to give the publisher information. As you can see on the screen, that Cite the piece as you would any other work in a collection, but do not include the publisher information. Kindly have a look on the screen. Also, the reference book is organized alphabetically, so you do not need to give the list the volume of or the page a number of the article or the item as well, because the reference book or the encyclopedia is already alphabetically arranged. Simply by moving to that alphabet, your reader will find the desired information for which the detailed reference is created. You need not to give the page numbers as well. So kindly have a look on the examples on the screen. Here, yes, ideology, the name of the particular essay or information that the title of the particular essay or the article that you picked up from some encyclopedia, some dictionary. Then over here next, the American Heritage Dictionary. This is the title of the reference book from which this particular information was taken. After that there is a period, this dot, then the edition, third edition, then dot, then the year of publication 1997, then a period, that means a dot, then print, the medium of publication. Dear students, here you can see on the screen that the publisher name is missing. You do not need to give the name of the publisher over here. You do not find over here in this example the page numbers as well, as they are not required, because it is already, the information is already alphabetically arranged over there in a book that is already a reference book, an encyclopedia, a dictionary. Kindly have a look on the screen again. Here in front of you, I am highlighting the example for you again. Kindly have a look. Then dear students, there is a situation, kindly have a look on the screen, in which you might have to create the detailed reference for a multi-volume work. There are many books for which you might have heard that this book is having many volumes. So if you are in such a situation that you have to refer to some particular volume, some specific volume, then you would have to add up that volume information to the detailed reference as well. Kindly have a look on the screen. And where would you add that volume? Have a look on the screen. Here. After, dear students, you have mentioned the work's title in the detailed reference, and or after you have mentioned the work's editor or translator, there comes the place in the detailed reference where you will be adding up the volume number as well. For example, you have picked up some information from volume number 2 of some book, then you will be adding up VOL dot period 2, then dot. That means volume number 2. Kindly have a look on the screen again in order to understand the situation more in a better way. Here, this is the name of the author, period, then the name of the title of the book, then dot, then translated by TRANS dot HE Butler dot. Then comes over here volume number 2. There is no number written over here, NUMBER. This is VOL dot 2 dot, VOL period 2 period. Then here comes in front of you the city of publication. Then after that always there is a colon. Then the publisher's name. After that is a comma. Then the year of publication 1980, then a period, then the medium of publication, that is print, then a dot. So this is the way, dear students, you will be creating the detailed reference for the work cited page through MLA referencing style when you are referring to some single volume of a multi-volumed work. But dear students, if you are picking up the information from more than one volume of the same work, more than one volume of the same book, in that situation, what to do? You will be giving the total number of the volumes in the work in the detailed reference. The total number will be given. For example, if you have picked up the information from the 3 volumes, you will be writing 3 volumes, VOLS volumes. If you have picked up the information from 4 volumes, you will be writing up 4 VOLS dot. If you have picked up the information from the 5 volumes of the same book, you will be writing 5 VOLS dot. Kindly have a look on the screen so that we can better understand it. Here, dear students, this is the name of the author, then period, that means a dot, then name of the book, then dot, then translated by H.E. Butler, then this reference to, then here comes 4 VOLS, means 4 volumes have been consulted for any particular piece of information that you have given in the report. You have consulted 4 volumes of this book. After that, dear students, you can see it's the city of publication, then colon, then the publisher's name, then comma 1980, the year of publication, then dot, then medium of publication, that is print. After that there is a dot. Here, dear students, in front of you, let me read it out for you in order to make it a bit more clear to you. When citing more than one volume of a multi-volume work, cite the total number of volumes in the work. Now, dear students, there is a situation in which, for example, there is a volume of the book, but that particular volume is having a separate title of its own. That means if there is a book, A Big Mouse, and A Big Mouse Volume 1, A Big Mouse Volume 2, A Big Mouse Volume 3, A Big Mouse Volume 4, and A Big Mouse Volume 5. But if the situation is this, A Big Mouse Volume 1, A Big Tree Volume 2, A Big Table Volume 3. Now the original name of the first volume was A Big Mouse, but for rest of the volumes the name, the title of the book was different. So if you are picking up some information from such a volume of the original book which is having its own separate title, you can create the detailed reference of that particular volume as if it stands as a separate publication, not referring to other volumes. Have a look on the screen. This is Churchill, Winston, S. dot, the age of revolution, dot, New York, the city of publication, then colon, dot, then the publisher's name, comma, 1957, the year of publication in print, the medium of publication. So this is the work cited, the detailed reference being created for a particular volume of the book which is having its own separate title. You need not to refer to other volumes of the same book. When you are picking up the information from a particular volume which is having its own individual independent title, you can create the detailed reference in that situation of that particular book as an independent publication. Have a look on the screen again. A multi-volume work, the examples, and now we move forward. Now there is something different that we call an introduction of a book, the preface of a book, the foreword of a book, or afterword of a book. Now if you have picked up some information from, say, the preface of the book, from the introduction of the book, now you want to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style in such a situation in which you have picked up some information from the introduction of a book, a preface of a book, or afterword of a book, then how to do it? Kindly have a look on the screen. You will be starting right away with the name of the author, as you can see on the screen. Name of the author, last name, first name style, and after that you will be writing the name of the piece that you are citing here. This person, Mr. Thomas Farrell, has written this introduction, so you will be writing this word introduction after the name of the author. Kindly have a look on the screen. After that, dear students, is the name of the entire book, and it is in italics. Norms of rhetorical culture. Then again comes the name of the author after a dot, by Farrell. New Haven, the city of publication, then after colon the publisher's name, then the year of publication, then here come the page number, and then after it is the medium of publication. Dear students, we are discussing a situation in which you are trying to make the detailed reference for a situation when you are picking up a particular piece of information from the introduction of a book, from the preface of a book, from the afterword of a book, from the foreword of a book. So first you will be writing the name of that particular piece of writing, name of the author of that particular piece of writing. For example, say introduction, there is a person who has written the introduction of the book. Now you will be writing the name of the author in the last name, first name, fashion of that particular piece. Then you will be writing the name of that particular piece of writing, that is, if it's introduction, you will be writing the word, kindly have a look on the screen, introduction. After it, the name of the title of the whole work, the book, then the city of publication, then the publisher's name, then the year of publication, then the page numbers, and after it the medium of publication. You can see, kindly note down one thing over here, dear students, that over here in this particular example, the person who has written this introduction is also the author of the whole book. Mr. Farrell is the one who has written the introduction as well of the book that he has himself written, Norms of Rhetorical Culture. But dear students, there might be a situation in which the author of the introduction of a book is different and the author of the book is different. Now how to create the detailed reference of that particular piece of writing in that particular situation? Kindly have a look on the screen. Kindly have a look. First you will begin with the name of the person who has written that particular particular piece of writing, from which you have taken that information and for which you are creating the detailed reference. For example, you are creating the detailed reference for a particular piece of information that you picked up from the introduction of the book, and the name of the book is Permanence and Change, and Anatomy of the Purpose. So first you will be writing the name of the author of that introduction in the last name, first name, fashion. Kindly have a look on the screen. Here, the author of introduction. After it, since you are creating the detailed reference for a particular piece of information that you have picked up from the introduction of a book, so this person is the author of the introduction page, introduction part of the book. After it, the name of the whole book, the title of the whole book, Permanence and Change. I have highlighted it for you in on the screen. Kindly have a look. Permanence and Change, colon, and Anatomy of Purpose, by This is by Kenneth Burke. Now Kenneth Burke is the writer of the whole book. Now the book is written actually by Kenneth Burke, but the introduction of the book is not written by by Kenneth, but it's written by another person, Duncan, in front of you. After that, dear students, the year of publication of the third edition. The original publication date, that is 1935. Then after that, the edition number. Then dear students, kindly have a look on the screen. It's the city of publication, then the publisher's name, and over here 1984 is the latest publication date, and then the medium of publication, print. So dear students, we have discussed a situation in which you are trying to create the detailed reference for an introduction portion of a book, for the preface of a book, for the foreword of a book, for the afterword of a book. If the situation is such that the introduction is written by the same author and the book is also written by the same author, then this is the way you will be creating the reference. But if the situation is this, that the author of the introduction is somebody else and the author of the book is somebody else, and this is the way you will be creating the reference. Kindly have a look on the screen again. And dear students, do not forget to add up the word by before the name of the principal author of the main work. Here, by Kenneth Burke. You cannot write directly over here, Kenneth Burke. And here it is a full name that is being given. It is not over here being added in the last name, first name fashion. By Kenneth Burke. But the name of the author of this particular piece, introduction, is being written in the last name, first name fashion. Have a look on the screen, dear students, once again. Okay, dear students, now let us discuss a situation in which you are trying to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style when you are facing some government publication. Now you are having something in your hand that is a government publication. Normally the governments do not name their individual authors. These are simply either the names of some agencies, the names of some commissions, some groups, and in that particular case you use the word corporate authors for them. So if you are having the individual name of the author available in that particular situation, start with the name of the author in the same last name, first name fashion. But if the individual author's name is not available, you will be starting with the general name of the government. After that, you will be following it with, say, the name of some agency or some subdivision that would be serving the purpose of the corporate author. After that, let us have a look what else is required. Here, dear students, this is an example in front of you. A reference that is being created for the government publication, and the individual name of the author is not available, so it started with the general name of the government, that is United States, then dot, after it the name of the agency, and then its division and subdivision, the Congress, CONG, then dot, then Senate, its subdivision, after it a dot, then the name of the committee. The name of the committee is Committee on Energy and Natural Resources, hearing on geopolitics of oil. Now this is one session of the Congress, of Senate, and over here this you will be calling it a government publication. How to create the detailed reference in such a situation when you are having no individual authors and the publication is that of the government. So you will be beginning with the general name of the government. After that you will be writing up the name of the subdivision or the agencies. For example, in this particular situation, as you can see on the screen, it's Congress, then Senate, then the name of the committee itself, Committee on Energy. Kindly have a look on the screen. Committee on Energy and Natural Resources, hearing on geopolitics of oil. After that, do not forget to mention the number of the Congress. 1/10th Congress, dot, then comma, and then the particular session in which that particular decision was taken. For example, if it was 1/10th of the Congress, then in which session that particular decision from which you have taken up a particular piece of information for which you are trying to create the reference, in which session that resolution was passed. Then it was, next you can see the first session. Then dear students, dot, then the city of publication, then colon, GPO is the name of the publisher, government printing office, and US government documents are normally published by government printing office, so GPO is the abbreviation. Then comma, the year of publication 2007, then dot, then the medium of publication, print. Here dear students, you are trying to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style for a government publication, for a document that is a government publication, in which, say, if the individual author's name is not available, then you will be starting up with the general name of the government, then moving up to the divisions and the subdivisions in the form of the committees like Congress and Senate. Then you will be giving the exact name of the commission, and after that the session and the number of the Congress, then the session as you can see on the screen, then the city of publication, then the publisher name, then the year of publication, and then the medium of publication as you can see on the screen. Here, in order to make it more clear to you, let me read it out for you. The situation in which you are having a government publication in front of you, for which you are trying to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style for the works cited page. It's written over here on the screen. Cite the author of the publication if the author is identified. Otherwise, start with the name of the national government followed by the agency, including any subdivisions or agencies that serves as organizational author. For Congress documents, be sure to include the number of the Congress and the session when the hearing was held or the resolution was passed. US government documents are typically published by the government printing office with MLA abbreviations, which MLA abbreviates as capital G, capital P, capital O, GPO. Let's move to another example, dear students, here in front of you on the screen. Kindly have a look. Again, United States dot, beginning with the general name of the government. Then over here it's not the Congress or the Senate. Over here it's Government Accountability Office. It can be any subdivision, any office of the main government, the general government, from whose publication you are trying to create the detailed reference for a particular piece of information that you have picked up from that particular subdivision of the government. Publication of the particular subdivision of the government, then dot, after it the name of that particular title of the particular publication, and that is climate change, colon, EPA and DOE should do more to encourage progress under 2 voluntary programs, dot, the city of publication, then colon, the publisher's name, GPO, comma 2006, and then the medium of publication, that is print. In front of you on the screen. Here. Kindly have a look on the screen, dear students. In the above example, the reference was created for some particular session of the government that took place in the year 2007. So the session number and the Congress number had to be listed. And this particular situation is the document of the government for no session, but it is simply in the form of a documental information on some facts and figures. So over here you do not find any session numbers, any number of the Congress as over here in the above example. Okay. Okay, dear students, what to do when you are trying to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style for a pamphlet. Kindly have a look on the screen. How to create the detailed reference for a pamphlet when you are following the MLA referencing style. Now, dear students, the pamphlets normally again are not naming the individual author's name. Individual authors' names normally are not available when you're talking of pamphlets. Normally again it's a commission, normally again it's a committee or other groups that are publishing any particular pamphlet, and you may again call them the corporate authors. So what to begin with? Naturally you will be beginning while you're trying to create the detailed reference to the MLA referencing style, you will no doubt be beginning with the titles of the pamphlet in such a situation. Kindly have a look on the screen. Here. The title is Women's Health Problems of the Digestive System. Then over here directly comes, dear students, the city of publication. Then the publisher's name is American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, comma 2006, that is the year of publication, then dot, then the medium of publication is print. Then the next example, dear students, we are trying to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style for pamphlets. Here, dear students, this is the title of the pamphlet. Your rights under California welfare programs, dot, then son. Okay. Then, dear students, comes up the city of publication, and after that, dear students, the name of the publisher, California Department of Social Services, over here in front of you. Then comma 2007 is the city of is the year of publication, and then the medium of publication is print. Kindly have a look on the screen again, dear students. These are two examples in front of you in which you have created the detailed reference through MLA referencing style in such a situation when the thing that you are having in your hand is a pamphlet. So in a pamphlet, normally, as I started with the author's name, normally individual author's name normally is not available. So when this is a situation, you will be straight away starting with the name of the corporate author. That might be the name of the committee, that might be the name of a particular group of people, or that might be the name of any other organization, any other group, any other commission. Like over here, the name of the particular commission was Let me repeat it for you again. You will not be beginning with the name of the commission, you will be beginning with the title of the pamphlet, and after that you will be adding up the name of the commission. I repeat again, which actually is replacing or representing the corporate author's name. I repeat again, dear students, when you people are not having the individual name of the author available, when you are trying to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style of a pamphlet, then you will be beginning up with the title of the pamphlet. I think mistakenly communicated it to you that you will be beginning up with the name of the commission. No, you will be beginning up with the name, the title of the pamphlet, and after that you will be there mentioning the name of the particular committee or the group of people for that would serve the purpose of the corporate author or the commission. Over here, women's health, problems of digestive system. This is the title of the pamphlet, not that of the corporate author, not that of the commission, not that of a particular group of people for which you are trying to create this reference. After it will be coming up the city of publication, then will be coming up the publisher's name. American College of Gynecologists 2006 and print. Kindly have a look again on the screen. Kindly have a look on the screen. Okay, dear students, now we move on to the next situation in which you are picking up some piece of information from some dissertations or from some thesis, master's thesis or bachelor's thesis. The information that at the moment I want to share with you is that yes, you can use these dissertations and thesis as well as your sources of information while you are writing any report. So in that particular situation, of course, you will have to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style for the works cited page. So what to do in that situation, how to create the detailed reference in that situation when you have picked up any particular piece of information from a dissertation. Rest is same, but you would have to add up some things. Number one is the designation that for example, it's the dissertation or the master thesis, then the name of the university and the year in which the degree was awarded. And there are two situations. If the thesis is published, the way you will be writing it, the detailed reference would be different. And if the thesis is not published, the way you will be writing the detailed reference through MLA referencing style would be a bit different. So let us have a look on both the situations through an example. Kindly have a look on the screen. Here, dear students, this is, kindly have a look, Bishop, Karen Lynn dot documenting institutional identity, strategic writing in the IUPUI comprehensive campaign. Again, here then after the title you will find the designation dissertation and the university, name of the university, Proved University, 2002, the year in which the degree was awarded. But since this particular thesis was published, then the city of publication, then the publisher's name, the year of publication, and the medium of publication is also added. Remember one thing, dear students, whenever you are picking up some information from some thesis which is published, you will be writing the title of the thesis in italics. If the thesis from which, or the dissertation from which you have picked up a particular piece of information, that is published, then the title of the thesis in the detailed reference would be written in italics. As you can see on the screen, this title, documenting institutional identity of thesis, strategic writing in the IUPUI comprehensive campaign, this is in italics. That means this thesis is published. Here in front of you on the screen. Another example, Bile, Jeffrey, ecology, feminism and the revised critical rhetoric toward a dialectical partnership. Now dear students, this is again in italics. That means this is also published. And what is the designation? This is a dissertation, and the university's name is Ohio University, and the year of in which the degree was awarded is 2005. Then the city of publication, the name of the publisher, then the year of publication and the medium of publication in front of you on the screen. So dear students, this is the situation in which you have learned how to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through the MLA referencing style when the source from which you have taken the information is a dissertation or a thesis. Let's move forward to other situations. But before that, dear students, if the thesis is not published, we have not shared the examples of an unpublished thesis with each other to create the detailed reference to the MLA referencing style. Let us share that example with each other. Over here, the title of the thesis which is not published in the detailed reference through MLA referencing style would not be written in italics. It would be put in inverted commas. Have a look. The name of the author of the thesis, of the dissertation, in last name, first name fashion. After that, the title of the thesis, dear students, and can you see on the screen, this is not in italics, but this is in inverted commas, and this shows that this thesis is not published. Towards a feminine, ironic understanding irony in the oppositional discourse of women from the early modern and modern periods. Inverted commas closed. After it, the designation, it is a dissertation, and when you are referring to some dissertation, you will be writing D, capital D, small I, double S. Have a look on the screen, it's visible in front of you. Dissertation, capital D, small I, double S, and after it a period. That shows that this is abbreviation for dissertation. Then dissertation, and then after it, after the period, you will be writing up the name of the university, proved university, then comma, then the year of publication, and then the medium of publication. In front of you on the screen, this is a situation, the detailed reference for a situation when you have picked up a particular piece of information from a dissertation or a thesis which is not published. Then dear students, over here another example in front of you on the screen. This is Stolley Carl dot, then the title of the dissertation toward conception of religion as a discursive formation, colon, implications for postmodern composition theory, then inverted commas close. MA thesis, over here the designation is MA thesis. M, capital A, space thesis, THESIS dot. Then the name of the university that awarded that degree is proved university, and the year in which the degree was awarded is 2002, and then dot, and the medium of publication is print. Have a look again on the screen, dear students. We have discussed the situation in which you have picked up a particular piece of information from some dissertation or from some thesis. Yes, you can use these as sources for your particular piece of writing, but there is a particular, then when you will be creating the detailed reference in such a situation, this is the way you will be doing it through MLA referencing style, as we just discussed with each other. Have a look on the screen again, once again. Okay. Dear students, now let us discuss a particular new situation in which we would try to learn how to create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style when we are talking of the periodicals, means magazines, newspapers and scholarly journals. Any information, any piece of information that is taken from from some articles in the newspapers, or from some articles in some journals, or from some editorials of the newspapers themselves, or from some essays or articles in the magazines. Okay, dear students, we begin with a situation in which you are trying to create the detailed reference for a particular piece of information that you picked up from the article of a magazine. Kindly have a look on the screen. You will be beginning up with the name of the author in the last name, first name fashion on the screen. Kindly have a look on the screen. Author or author's name. After that, dear students, this is the general format. You will be giving the title of the article, and whenever it is an article, you will be writing it in inverted. The title will be written in inverted commas. It will not be italicized. The title will be written in inverted commas. After that will come the title of the magazine, the periodical or the journal, and it will be written in italics, and it will not be put in inverted commas. Then day, month and year. Have a look on the screen. After that, column. Yes, you would have to mention the pages as well. And after that would come the medium of publication. This is the way you will be creating the detailed reference for an article of a magazine. For the works cited page through MLA referencing style, now let us move to the examples over here. The example is, this is the name of the author in the last name, first name fashion. After it, dear students, the name of the article, TV makes a too close call, and it is in inverted commas as recommended through MLA referencing style. And after that, dear students, should be the name of the periodical, the name of the magazine, that is Time, and it is in italics. Then the date, 20 November 2000. After it, dear students, is a colon, and then the page number 70 to page number 71, then dot, then the medium of publication, print. First example, for creating the detailed reference, dear students, for an article of a magazine. Second example in front of you on the screen, kindly have a look. It's first the name of the author of the article in the last name, first name fashion. After that, dear students, there is a dot, then the name of the article in inverted commas as recommended through MLA referencing style, and the name of the article is A Special Education. It's in inverted commas, if you can see on the screen. Dear students, after that would be the name of the periodical, that is Good Housekeeping, in italics. Then March 2006, after that colon, then page number 143 to 148 dot, and then the medium of publication, print. In front of you on the screen, kindly have a look again. Here, these are the examples. While you're trying to create the detailed reference to MLA referencing style on the works cited page for an article that you picked up from some magazine, here, from some magazine, especially magazines. Have a look again on the screen, dear students. Okay. Here, dear students, now articles from the newspapers. In the above example, in the above situation, we were picking up simply the magazines, now the newspapers. How to create the detailed references for the articles which you are picking from the newspapers? Kindly have a look on the screen. Again, it will start from the name, last name, first name style of the author of the article, of the writer of the article, then the title of the article. Again, dear students, the title will not be italicized. The title will be simply put in inverted commas, and the title is new. Kindly have a look on the screen. New health center targets counties uninsured patients. Then dear students, over here this is the name of the newspaper in italics. Washington Post. Then the name, the date 24th May 2007 of the edition. Then over here you are supposed to be extremely cautious, dear students, about the pagination in the newspapers. The pagination style in the newspaper might be different. There are some newspapers numbering their pages as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some others as A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, then some others as AB1, AB2, AB3. So you are supposed to follow the same pagination format and write the exact number of the page as was mentioned in the newspaper, and over here it is LZ01 dot, then the medium of publication is print. Okay. Different, there is a particular situation in which more than one editions of the newspaper are available on the same day. For example, the early edition and the late edition, morning edition and the evening edition. In that particular situation, the page number might vary. So you are supposed to, for example, if you have simply picked up the page number from the morning edition and you have not mentioned it's the early edition or the late edition, so the reader might try to find it in the late edition where he or she would not find it on that page. So it's important to mention which edition of the newspaper you are referring to when you are giving the page number. Have a look on the screen. Again, when you will be situation, an example in which you will be mentioning the edition as well of the newspaper on that very day. The name of the author, Andrew, in the last name, first name fashion. Then the title of the article, Fear of Eating, in inverted commas, as recommended by MLA referencing style, that the title of an article should be put in inverted commas, should not be italicized. After that is the name of the newspaper, New York Times. Then the date of publication, the publication date of the newspaper, the date on which the newspaper was published, 21st May 2007. But one more information after it is added over here is late edition. Then colon page number A1 and then print, medium of publication print. Have a look again, dear students, on the screen. Here, let me highlight it for you again. Have a look on the screen. Okay, dear students, there might be a situation in which you have picked up a piece of information from a newspaper which is not well known. So there needs to be, through MLA referencing style recommendation, there is something additional that needs to be done. Over here it is recommended that after the title of the name of the newspaper, add the city name and the state as well in brackets. Have a look. Situation in which the newspaper is not very well known, or it's a local publication. So in order to make it more authentic, in order to authenticize it more, you are recommended through MLA referencing style that after the title of the newspaper, add up in brackets the name of the city and state. Here in front of you, the name of the author of the article, Robert, in the last name, first name fashion, then dot. Then in inverted commas, the name of the article, Presidential hopefuls get final crack at core of SC Democrats. Then inverted commas, close, post, and then here comes the name of the newspaper, dear students, in front of you. Here, Post and Courier. But if you feel that this newspaper is not well known or it is a local publication, then you can add up the name of the city and state in brackets after the name of the newspaper, and over here it's Charleston, comma SC, state's name. Then 29 April dot 2001, then colon A11 page numbers, and then dot, then medium of publication, that is print, in front of you on the screen, dear students. Kindly have a look. Another example, dear students. Again, here, this is the name of the author, Paul, last name, first name, fashion, then dot, then in inverted commas, the name of the article, Breeze hopes to win Hessman for team, inverted commas close, proved exponent, and this is an say and not a very well known newspaper. Then after it there is the information of the city and the state. Kindly have a look on the screen in brackets. West, this is the name of the city. I don't know how to pronounce this word, Lafayette, West Lafayette, comma IN is the name of the state, 5 December dot 2000 colon 20 dot print. Now 20 is the page number. Here you can see the pagination style, different newspapers using different pagination styles. Over here it's simply 20. In the above examples it was A11, and still there was another newspaper. Over here the page number was LZ01. So the pagination style of the newspaper should be replicated as such in the detailed reference. You should not be creating the pagination style of your own when you are referring to the page numbers of the newspaper in the detailed reference to MLA referencing style. Okay, dear students, let us now move to the next situation in which you are trying to create the detailed reference for a particular piece of information that you have picked up from a review. Have a look on the screen. To cite a review, include the title of the review, and if the title of the review is available, by the way. And if it's not available, then you will be simply using the abbreviations R, capital R, E, V, review, and then after it of, review of. You will not be writing the entire word review. You will be simply picking up the abbreviations capital R, E, V, after it a space, then of. Then you will be after that providing the title of the work for which that particular review was written. If the work is, if you are writing the review of some book, of some film, of some play that is a larger work, then the title of the work will be italicized. Otherwise, for shorter works like some poems, some short plays, some articles, you will be putting the title of those works in inverted commas. And after that would come the publication information. Kindly have a look. This is the way you will be writing the detailed reference to MLA referencing style for a review. Have a look on the screen, dear students. Review author, the name of the author of the review. Then the title of review if the title is existing. Then review, yes, the title of the review, and then review of. You will be writing the word R-E-V of the main, the title of the main article, the main play, the main title of the book, the main title of the poem over here. Then the title of the periodical, day, month, year in which that review appeared. Then the page number, and then the medium of publication. Have a look on the screen, dear students. Now we will be moving to the real example. Here, dear students, this is the name of the author who has written a particular review. Zoller in the last name first name format, then dot. After that comes, dear students, the name of the review. Yes, over here the review is having a name. In some situations the review might not be having a name, but if the review is having the name, then the title of that review you will be writing after the name of the author of the review. Have a look on the screen. Life in the sprawling suburbs, if you can really call it living, in inverted commas. That shows this is a shorter work. This is not a big work. This is not larger work. This is not a play. This is a shorter work, might be an article, might be a poem. Then, dear students, by the way, this was the title of the review, and review always is a shorter work. Review normally is not taken as a longer work which is more than 500 or 600 pages. Normally the review is included, is taken as a shorter work. After that, dear students, is the name of the title of the main work. Review of Radiant City. Radiant City is the name of the main work for which that review was written. Again, I repeat, you will not be writing the whole word review. You will simply be writing the abbreviation, capital R, small e, small v, then a space, then OF, review of. The title of the main work, Radiant City. Then New York Times, the newspaper in which it was published. Then the date of publication, kindly have a look on the screen, 30th May 2007, late edition. E1 is the page number, and then the medium of publication is print. And dear students, over here you can see one more thing. These are the names of the directors as well, written over here. DIR is referring to directors, Gary Burns and Jim Brown. If you are having some directors over there of the main play, yes, you can add up the names of the directors after the name of the main work that you have mentioned in the for the detailed reference of the review. Have a look again, dear students, on the screen. This is how you create the detailed reference for the works cited page through MLA referencing style for a review, for a particular piece of information that you have picked up from any review. Okay. Now, dear students, there is something that we call the editorial, or a letter to the editor. If somehow for your report, for your piece of writing, you find some valid information from some editorial or from some letter that is written to the editor, then you are supposed again to create the detailed reference of that letter as well, and of that editorial as well. How to do it, which words to be added and which information to be added. Have a look on the screen. Dear students, in that particular case, there are two designators that you would have to add. In the case of the editorial, you would have to add the word editorial, EDITORIAL, in the detailed reference, and in the case of the letter to the editor, you would have to add up the word LETTER in the detailed reference. In which position? Kindly have a look on the screen. Here, dear students, in inverted commas, it's the title of the editorial of Minds and Men. So when you are trying to create the detailed reference of the editorial, it will start up straight directly with the title of the editorial, not with the author of the editorial. Normally you can see whenever you open up the newspaper, the editorial is simply without any author's name. It's the editorial of the newspaper, yes, written by the editors, but whenever you will be creating the detailed reference through MLA referencing style for an editorial, you will be beginning up with the title of the editorial. And over here the title of the editorial is, as you can see on the screen, of Minds and Men. Kindly have a look on the screen, and it is in inverted commas, of Minds and Men in inverted commas. After that, dear students, yes, you are adding up the information that this is an editorial. You are adding up the word editorial over here, EDITORIAL, editorial. That shows that this is the title of an editorial. Then dear students is a period, and after that Wall Street Journal, the name of the journal. So this was the editorial of a journal, by the way. And then dear students, 24th October 2003, the issue date, publication date, and after each the page number, after a colon A14, and then the medium of publication, that is print. Kindly have a look again dear students on the screen. The detailed reference, primarily referencing style for an editorial in front of you. Okay. Then dear students, if it's a letter in the newspaper, say, then how to create the detailed reference for a letter that was written to the editor of a newspaper. Kindly have a look on the screen. First directly would be the name of the person who has written the letter. In the last name, first name Fashion Hammer, comma John, then dot. The word letter here comes now. That shows that it is the author of a letter. But where was the letter written to? American Journalism Review. Might be a magazine, might be a newspaper. In italics, the name of the main periodical, the name of the main magazine or the journal. Then the date of publication on which the newspaper or the journal was published, December.2006 till January, then dot. To 007. After that dear students is a colon, then 7 is the page number, dot, and the medium of publication. So that means this is the journal or the magazine beginning from January 2006, moving on to 200 and 7. Okay dear students. Dear students, I hope you have learned a lot from today's lecture, and just to give you a small review of whatever we discussed in today's lecture, kindly have a look on the screen, moving from the beginning till the end. We started with the article in the reference book, Encyclopedia or Dictionaries. Have a look on the screen. Then we discussed an example, then a multi-volume work, then a situation in which you have picked up the information from a single volume, then when you have picked up the information from more than one volume, then how to create the detailed reference for a preface, a foreword and afterward, or an introduction. When you have picked up of a book, when you have picked up a particular piece of information from these pieces of writing of a book. After that, dear students, we moved on to the situation in which you had to create the detailed reference through MLA referencing style for a government publication. Then how to create the detailed reference for a pamphlet. Then how to make the detailed references for the dissertations and the master's thesis. And yes, it was communicated to you, you can use the thesis and the dissertations as your sources for the report as well, but there is a different way of creating the reference of these two things when they are published and when they are not published. After that, dear students, we moved on to the MLA referencing style for periodicals, and periodical means that you are picking up a particular piece of information from magazines, from some newspapers, or from some scholarly journals. And one by one, we discussed the situation, how to make the detailed reference for picking up an article from the newspaper when we have picked up a particular piece of information from an article of a magazine. First, then afterwards from an article of the newspaper, after that for a review, then for an editorial and letter to the editor. Well, dear students, if you practically will implement this information to any of your documents that you want to get converted into authentic documents, you will no doubt inshallah benefit from them greatly. Wishing you best of luck in all the good things of life. Thank you so very much. See you inshallah in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.